Okay guys, so you're looking at my Dillon Square Deal B set up for 40 Smith & Wesson, and you might be wondering why you're watching this video if you're on the firearms page. Otherwise, if you read the title and you found it for this specific reason, we're going to show you what's going on here. Now, I apologize for the lighting. I don't really know how this is going to come out exactly, and I suppose I can flip up my safety glasses for now. And again, I think this is probably going to be pretty out of focus, but you can see that this case is all marred up. And you can see that the locator button, and if you don't know what that is, there's a locator button at each of the inside stages of this press that holds the shell in place while it's going through the press. Even though this button is removed and the shell is in line where it should be able to be removed, it's hung up, right? So I can't take it out. Now, it had already gone through and had powder put into it, so that case is charged. Now, what I know is that a primer is stuck at an angle in the case, and that's what's hanging it up. If I gave that a good jerk, I bet you that primer would detonate. It would ignite the powder inside the case, and if I had not removed my powder funnel, there's a chance that may have also ignited, and if that happened, there would have been a nice big boom right in my face, right? And I also have about 4 pounds of powder in this room and about 3,000 primers, so you can only guess what would have happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the priming system, and we're going to try to take care of this problem without having a accidental detonation. We're going to show you how that's done, and we're just going to kind of talk about some good troubleshooting things to avoid catastrophes in your reloading room. So stick around, we'll show you what we do. Okay guys, so here's the deal with the Square Deal. We have a primer stuck in the primer pocket of a case, I'm guessing it's at an angle. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the priming system. Okay, I'm going to do everything I can to try to avoid an accidental detonation here. The reason I'm removing the priming system is this problem is entirely my fault, it's not the machine. When I converted from 45 ACP to 40 Smith & Wesson, I remembered to change out the primer pocket, but I forgot to change out the magazine tube for small pistol. Okay, so what had happened was I went to go push my first primer. It seated funny, which I didn't actually realize was happening, and then primer started falling out through the bottom of the machine. Some of you might have experienced a similar kind of a problem, so we're going to kind of show you what to do to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and unbolt the priming system from the machine. If you don't know how to do that specifically, we're going to talk about that. One bolt is already out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove our following rod from the priming system. This is the low primer warning system. We're going to take that off. We don't need that. And we're going to move our handle back a little bit. Now, what they tell you is, be careful because this is under tension. This is spring tension, so we're going to just kind of hold this in as we're backing it out. And and before I did this, I went ahead and removed all my powder, all the primers, everything from the room. One primer going off would be a bummer. Everything going off would be a catastrophe, right? So safety glasses on just in case. Never know. Okay. Oh. So our priming cup even came out. Oh, there's our primer. Alright. So we're gonna get these. Oh, and that primer is all chewed up. In fact, that primer somehow looks like it came apart and didn't go off, which thank God it didn't. And I can't tell. Oh, yep, sure is. Sure is. There's a couple of them in here. Don't eat those, baby. Of course, I'm being careful not to dump out the rest. I'll fish those out later, but anyhow, so, ooh, there's a spring. I'm sure you guys are all laughing at me, right? Okay, so primer magazine is removed. Set that to the side. There's probably, 95 primers still stacked up in there. Now, we're gonna figure out how to get this guy free. I can still feel that one lodged in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this shell plate. And hopefully we can get everything taken apart without the little pop. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, and we're gonna pick back up at a tighter shot of the shell plate. Okay, guys, so here's a close-up shot of what we got here in the shell plate. Now, in the center of it, we got an Allen-headed bolt, and there's a little wire that we're gonna lift out, get out of the way, so we can remove this guy. And again, I do have my safety glasses on. I don't think we're gonna have a detonation, but just erring on the side of caution, of course. We're gonna go ahead and loosen this here. Almost spinning free now. You know, there's things that you should do when you're really tired after work, and this probably isn't one of them, but I got a bunch of ammo I got to do tomorrow. So here we are. In fact, I almost wonder, no, not quite. Like I said, you guys are probably all laughing at me, but for that one guy out there, that one guy that just can't figure out what to do, if this helps, great. Alright. So now we got our shell plate loose. Oh, beautiful. See now? Oh boy. Look. Now look at this. First thing I'm going to do, there's no way you're going to be able to see this in the shot, I know it. I'm going to get this powder out of this casing. That's priority one. And I don't see any more primers in here, so we're clear. Just checking again. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dump this powder. We're going to come back. Okay, so here's what we got. You can see the shell has got part of the priming system actually shoved right through the foot of it. Now I'm going to have to figure out what happened there, because this is not the problem I thought it was. Now, I don't know if there's a primer involved here or not. I'm guessing there is. And I don't know what else to do but to pull this casing off, because there's nothing else I can really do. So if this thing's going to pop, you guys are going to see it right now. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to try something else. So I think this is pretty funny. I was just about to pull it with this, and I just put my ears on because I thought if this thing's going to pop, I don't want it to hurt my ears. And as soon as I went to pull it, it just fell right out. So everything's apart, and I'm going to go ahead and get set up to put everything back together. Okay guys, so the first thing I did so I dumped out my the primers that were in the tube, and I apologize. I gotta get to bed, so I'm just doing this quick. But this is your primer tube assembly. Okay, if you take off this top nut, what you should find inside, and what I didn't find inside of mine, because I'm an idiot, is your magazine tube. Now, unlike your primer pickup tubes, the primer pickup tubes are going to have a hole on either side towards the top here that you fit a cotter pin through, and that's when you turn it upside down, it'll hold your primers when you want them to. The magazine tube won't have the holes. Okay. Now, I tell them apart just by looking at the top of them. I'll put two of them next to each other, and one with a smaller hole, I'll let you guess which one that is. One of the bigger hole, you can guess which one that is. Because I didn't know the color codes. Now what you're going to do is you're going to slide your pickup tube, magazine tube, into the primer system. And if you look through the bottom, which there's no way you're going to be able to see this, these little notches that it fits through just right. It's going to sit down inside of there. Replace your nut back on top. And when you look down through the top, you can get the top of the magazine tube to fit just perfect with the top. That's it. Now in my case, I'm not sure if this is screwed, because if it is, I'm gonna have a problem. And if it isn't, I'm gonna take a look at my large pistol primer thing and see if I can't figure out what to do. Okay guys, I want to show you what happened. Now, I was afraid this was totally sunk. Where'd my good one go? You can see the way this assembly is. Well, I pulled it up in the book, which helped me cheat a little. But what happened, if you look in here, it's a little teeny tiny Allen-headed screw. If you turn it over to this side, and I hope you can see it on this camera, and I'm sorry if you can't, there's a screw coming in that holds this in place. When you got this set up right, you're going to have this, I don't know what you'd call that, part going down this way through the top, and there's a little head on this that's going to catch in the foot of the primer cup. And again, if I'm sorry this is all blurry, you're going to have this spring like this. We're going to take the whole thing, we're going to reattach it in here, clamp that set screw back down. We're going to put it back together and we're going to be able to get back to loading some 40 Smith & Wesson. Just wanted to give you guys a quick shot of Humpty Dumpty back together. I found that 5/64 of an inch Allen was what it took. And all I did was I put everything back together and I held this down with my thumb. Just put it a little tension so the screw set all the way down to the base on the inside of this. Tighten it up. It's good as new. Okay, that's it. So to show you guys this, because I did forget to detach this assembly from the primer system, and I've reinstalled the fixed one. There's a spring on the foot here, and if you detach that, this whole unit swings out, and before you let go of that spring, you pull it out and hold on to it, hang on to it. Kind of do one of these deals. Still down, baby. Ease this out, hold on to that spring, put it back in when you're ready to. If you're changing calibers, or in this case if you fixed it, whatever, if you can, hold on to this little spring. It's kind of a hassle getting out. I just happen to have that little Allen wrench to set this screw back in. That worked out just fine for me, just pulling it back out. But just wanted to show you that. We're going to go ahead and reinstall this back into the press now. So the first thing you'll see is in this second station, that's our newly reinstalled primer cup. Okay. Got our shell plate. Screw for it. And I'll tell you, it's a lot more fun putting these guys back in when you're not worrying about a primer blowing up in your face. It really makes this a much more enjoyable kind of a process. I was just making sure that I hadn't forgot to swing that little wire out of the way, which wouldn't surprise me at all right now. What is your deal, mister? Alright, take it up a little bit. Alright. You guys having fun watching me fumble with this? I bet you're laughing your asses off. You guys see that tired redheaded guy trying to show us how to fix a machine? What a moron. Okay, got the shell plate all tightened down. Go ahead and reattach our little wire here. Okay. Oh yeah, and we're back. So, got this marred up case that's gonna go in the pile of no return. Go ahead and stick our locator button back in. And I think I'm just about ready to pick up some new primers and get to it. So anyway, if this helped you at all, wonderful. If it didn't, I'm sorry about that. And yeah, stay tuned to the page. We're going to do some stuff that's a whole lot more interesting than this. So thanks, guys.